Hey everybody, happy Wednesday. Mark Causey here from Black Cat Comics in Rockin' Milpitas. Every Wednesday is New Comic Day and I'd like to give you some great reasons to get down to your local comic shop and pick up something fun to read. It's a big, huge, exciting week. Lots and lots of things to talk about. Of course, we've got to start with the DC guys this week because this is Suicide Squad Rebirth #1. It's got a movie this week, maybe you've heard of it. The biggest thing going in comics and in pop culture these days. If you were down at Comic-Con, you saw the 8,000 Harley cosplayers. This is probably the biggest deal of the week, probably the biggest deal in a few weeks, so I hope you're in line at your local comic shop right now for that one. And if that wasn't awesome enough, this is Harley Quinn #1. This is what constitutes your Harley Quinn Rebirth book. Picks right up from last week's number 30. Again, probably the biggest character in comics, biggest character in pop culture these days. Thanks, Paul Dini. Great stuff there. And in other Rebirth news, well, actually, hang on a second. In other Harley Quinn news, if that wasn't enough for you, here's the Coloring DC Harley Quinn and Suicide Squad. They've been doing a few of these coloring books, and of course, they needed to get a Harley one out in time for this weekend. That's super cool. And this is super cool. This is your creepy Harley Quinn mask. It's the box set that comes with the Volume 1 trade paperback. You probably already have that, but you don't have one of these cool masks. So pick up the mask box set, give the trade to somebody you know that doesn't have one. Win-win. Big week for the Harley fans. Well, like I said, there's also other DC news, like Batman #4. The other biggest book DC has. Cool stuff here, and All-Star Batman will be launching real soon. And in other Bat news, there's Batman Beyond, one of my favorite Bat titles, and Batman 66. I always like that these two books come out in the same week. I like the contrast of Batman Beyond and Batman 66. Good stuff. Nightwing. Another big, huge Bat book. Everybody's a big Nightwing fan. Justice League with Batman there on the cover, since you can't seem to get enough of that guy. Justice League's also one of the biggest books DC has. This is only #2. We've still got Rebirth and #1 in stock, so if you're one of the 3 people that's holding out on Justice League, catch up on that one. Superman with one of the Super Sons right there on the cover. Everybody knows I'm a big Superman fan, been enjoying the return of my classic Superman. Green Lanterns and Green Arrow, along with Aquaman, rounds out your Rebirth stuff. Really stoked to see Aquaman continuing his popularity in the new Rebirth universe. Really great character. And Injustice, along with DC Bombshells, are your non-continuity DC books of the week. You can read more about the Bombshells in our newsletter. You should really be picking this up. This book's a lot of fun. And this one's got Zatanna, so why not? Sheriff of Babylon and Art Ops by my man Mike Allred are your Vertigo books of the week. Big week for these DC guys. Make sure you get out and catch the Suicide Squad movie this weekend. And of course, it's always a huge week for Marvel. Let's talk Civil War II. How about Civil War II Kingpin? That's your main Civil War book for the week. And your tie-ins include Invincible Iron Man #12. Been a lot of buzz about Invincible Iron Man on the old interwebs. So if you're not following this book, you should be definitely checking out this issue because stuff's a-happening. Squadron Supreme, Uncanny Inhumans, and Deadpool round out your Civil War II stuff. Deadpool v Gambit, more Deadpool action for you, since you can't get enough of the Merc with a mouth. Doctor Strange, also a lot of buzz going on around this guy these days. Maybe you've seen the trailer for the movie that's coming up. This is the last part of the Last Days of Magic arc. We also picked up a whole bunch of Doctor Strange stuff down at Comic-Con. So pick up a new one this week, pick up some of the old stuff this week. It's time to be a Doctor Strange fan, people. Uncanny X-Men #11. It's your first issue after all the Apocalypse stuff. Daredevil has an annual this week, because I love those double-sized annuals. Moon Knight and Punisher are your dark side of the Marvel Universe. This Punisher series has been really cool, so if you're one of the few people not checking this out, you might want to grab that one too. Becky Cloonan's doing a really good job on that. Silk and Spidey are your Spider-Verse books of the week, and rounds out your Marvel stuff. Like I said, always a big week for those guys. Fun week for my friends at Dark Horse. Baltimore is your Mike Mignola book of the week. You know, I'm always talking up his stuff. Baltimore is a cool vampire hunter title. It's the last issue of this arc, so if you've been missing out, you can pick up the Black Cat pack of all 5 and see what I'm always talking about with this Baltimore stuff. Don't talk a lot about trade paperbacks, but Dark Horse has a couple of really great ones that I want to mention this week. This ginormous beast is the Joe Kubert collection of Tarzan. He did Tarzan for a long time back in the 70s. Tarzan's got his movie these days, so I thought I'd talk him up. Great property, doesn't get more classic than Tarzan, doesn't get more classic than Joe Kubert. It's a very large book. It's a little pricey at 30 bucks, but well worth it. Kubert's always the best artist in comics. And this guy is the Dark Horse DC collection of all your Superman versus Alien, Superman versus Predator, all that kind of stuff. Again, really chunky big book. Lots of cool sci-fi stuff in there. You know I'm a big Superman fan. I know you're a big Alien and Predator fan, so check that out. I'm always saying what a good job Dark Horse does with their licensed stuff. Good week for the Image guys too. How about Walking Dead? First part of a new story arc. I know most of you follow this in trade paperback, but you really should catch up to the periodicals because, well, it's more fun that way. Black Science is my Image book of the week because I love the dark, pulpy sci-fi stuff. This book's been really cool, so grab the $1 reprint of #1 and see what all the hubbub's about. Along with Stray Bullets, because my man David Latham is seriously twisted, but this book is really cool. Paper Girls is probably your Image book of the week. This and Monstrous have been gaining a lot of attention lately. So again, grab that $1 reprint of the first issue and catch up to all the fun. Battlestar Galactica is my Dynamite book of the week because it's back in comics and it's awesome. The show's been gone for a long time, but really great property for comics. Good to see that coming back. And a good week for the kids' books too. Classics like Looney Tunes, love me some Bugs Bunny, or Donald Duck, because I've been talking about what a great job that these guys have been doing bringing the Disney stuff back to comics with Mickey and Donald and all that good stuff. And of course, Marvel Avengers, because the kids have to have a cool superhero book too. Everybody loves some Ultron. Great stuff there. Last but not least, like trade paperbacks, I don't talk a lot about magazines, but this is the Jack Kirby Collector. Only comes out about 3 times a year, but it's really super awesome. Along with Joe Kubert, Jack Kirby is somebody that needs no introduction or explanation. He is the king of comics. He deserves his own quarterly magazine. Has all kinds of art and stories that you probably haven't seen before. So if you don't know about classic comics, you should definitely check this out. If you love classic comics like I do, you should definitely check this out. Everybody ought to have a copy of the Jack Kirby Collector. Great stuff. Like I said, really huge week. Lots and lots of great stuff. So check those shipping lists. Get down to your shop and pick up something super awesome. That's all we got for you for this week. You can check us out at Facebook. Check us out at blackcatcomics.biz. Check out our cool YouTube channel. Or just get on down here to Rockin' Milpitas. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.